So you want to know if Diablo Immortal is going to be free to play. You want to know what kind of monetization system is it going to have. In this video today, I'm breaking it all down for you and giving you all the details you need to know about Diablo Immortal monetization. Let's get started. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Captain Nemo. Welcome to another Diablo Immortal video. In this one, today, I'm breaking down the monetization for Diablo Immortal. What can you spend money on? What is this going to be? Are we going to have a pay-to-win thing? Is it going to be free to play? Well, in this video, breaking it all down for you. Remember, chaptered below, so you can skip around anytime you like. While you're down there, smash the like button, hit the subscribe. I'm live streaming every day. I got a whole bunch of Diablo Immortal content coming your way. You don't want to miss out. So let's get started. And keep in mind, this information is definitely subject to change because we are in technical alpha right now. We're still in alpha stages of development, so things might definitely change when the game actually comes out. But there are two different types of currencies in the game. But before we go into that, let me tell you a few things. Some important things to know about. Right off the bat, is Diablo Immortal going to be free to play? In my opinion, it is going to be free to play. Now, I'm going to lay out the facts for you. You make your own decision of what you think, if the game is going to be free to play or not. And I'm going to, at the end of it, I'm going to give you my impressions and all of that. But first, I lay out the facts and you tell me what you think. One thing to keep in mind, we are in technical alpha, so things are definitely subject to change before the game actually goes live. Like, for example, there are no prices, no actual dollar amounts yet for some of the materials and things like that of currency in the game. But in general, we're going to go over and talk about all that. But before that, before we go over and talk about their currencies and all that good stuff and what can you get with them, etc., one thing to keep in mind, the gear in the game. This is really cool. I love this aspect of it. The gear of the game is totally 100% only one way to get the gear. You can't trade for it. You can't buy it. You can't drop it. You can't transfer it. Any kind of primary or secondary gear. So things that you wear or your weapon pieces, there's only one way to get them. And that's by killing monsters and going out there and doing stuff in Diablo Immortal. That's really cool. So all of the gear cannot be transferred, cannot be bought, cannot be purchased, cannot be done, nothing. There's no way to do anything with it, but just go kill monsters and get it for yourself. So that's kind of cool. I really like that. That's one of the aspects for me that makes the game definitely free to play. But let's talk about some other stuff. So there are two main currencies in the game. You have platinum and then you have eternal orbs. Platinum is what's used around town when you're shopping in specialty shops and services. You can buy like echo crystals and a bunch of stuff like that. I'll cover that a little bit later. And then you have eternal orbs. Eternal orbs are used to buy legendary crests, Reforge Stones, and more platinum. So what is legendary crest? What is Reforge Stones? We'll cover that in 1 second. What is an eternal orb and how much will it cost? We don't know because we're still in alpha. Currently there is no actual pricing, but we know that eternal orbs are going to cost real money. Then you can transfer that and translate it into basically Reforge Stones, legendary crests, and then you can buy more platinum. We do know the platinum breakdowns right here. 50 eternal orbs will cost 500 platinum. So far in the, in the alpha version of the game, we don't know what it might change a little bit when it comes out, in real external launch, so to speak. But currently, that's what the pricing is. Now, what's a legendary crest? What is a Reforged Stone? Let's talk about that. Legendary crests are actually kind of cool. They basically, what you can do with a legendary crest is you can enhance your Elder Rift. You know how you run an Elder Rift and you go in and you do your thing? Well, if you put a legendary crest into an Elder Rift, what you're doing is you're guaranteeing yourself not only a modifier, but you're guaranteeing yourself a legendary gem at the end of the rift if you beat it. So if you're putting in a legendary crest into an Elder Rift, you yourself will get a legendary gem when you beat the rift. Everybody else in your party will actually get some materials, some fading embers, that you can use later when you collect a bunch of them to buy yourself a legendary gem if you want. So that's kind of cool. You get a legendary gem, everybody in your party gets fading embers, which is what you would use when you put in a rare crest into an Elder Rift. So that's kind of cool. That's what a legendary gem is. Now a Reforged Stone, what is a Reforged Stone? So when you take a piece of gear and you upgrade it at the blacksmith, every 5 levels you get one random stat, basically one random cool thing that the gear does for you. And you're allowed to have 4 of those stats when you reach level 20. So at level 20, for whatever gear that you like, you might be able to get a random stats on it as you upgrade it, as you go up. These stats are random and they could be from any affix family, right? They could be basically of anything. And if you see right here, you have You have Wildfire, Tremor, Jolt. You have Vengeance, Barrier, and Ravager. Those are the affixes, right? The 6 affixes right now. So basically, as you're rolling these stats in this gear, as you upgrade it, you get random stats. Now, what happens when you reach level 20? You love a piece of gear, but you don't like that random stat. Well, you're going to need to re-roll it somehow. There's a way to re-roll this stat, and that's, of course, with a regular Reforge Stone. Those are free. Those you get during the game. As you're playing, you get regular Reforge Stones. So if you take this Reforge Stone, you re-roll the piece of gear with that stat, whatever, there's a big pool of stats, and it picks one and slaps it on for you, and you're stuck with that. If you like it or you don't like it. If you don't like it, you have to use another Reforge Stone to keep going until you do. Okay, good. What is a Reforge Stone that you buy here? This Reforge Stone, this will cost, as you can see, 100 Eternal Orbs, whatever that's going to be in real money. What this is going to do is it's going to narrow down the pool of stats that you are going to be able to get. So let's say if I want to roll a stat, but I know that I need one out of the Wildfire Stone family, out of the Wildfire suffix, right? Or affix, out of the Wildfire one. If I use this stone, I'm guaranteed one of the stats from that affix alone. So you can't buy stats, but you can basically narrow down a pool of where the stats are being picked from when you randomly roll them, if that makes any sense. So in a regular Reforged Stone, big pool, huge pool, right? If you buy one of these Reforged Stones, if you buy one of these special ones, that pool gets smaller and smaller and smaller, and you can narrow it down to what you want. So if I want a Tremor affix type of stat, I'm going to go get myself a Tremor Stone, use that, roll it, and make my pool of stats a lot smaller. That is what a Reforged Stone is. Another thing to keep in mind, you can get one of those rare crests with platinum as well. So you can get one with platinum or with the orbs, and that's kind of the breakdown for the rare and the legendary crest. So legendary crest will cost you 3,000 platinum or 300 eternal orbs, and then a regular rare crest will cost you 100 orbs. Now, what does this mean? Do you think this is pay to win? Do you think that this actually is pay to win? So let me give you my opinion about this. All right, my opinion about this. Ready? The game is going to be free, 100% free. Every character in the game is going to be free. Every update in the game is going to be free. All of the content in the game is going to be free. Every piece of gear in the game is going to be free, and is guaranteed that there's no way that you're going to be able to buy it, trade it, or even transfer it, right? The only way to get gear, and that's what really matters, in my opinion, that's what really matters, is the pieces of gear that you get, right? For most people. Yeah, there will be some hardcore people. They're going to need specific stats for like that higher end piece of gear, but most general people will play and they'll just want gear, they'll want cool weapons, they want cool things to play with when they unlock them, and all of that is gotten directly from playing the game, and that is amazing. It really is. This kind of model, at first, it kind of took me back a little bit. Like when I was listening to this, I said, because to be honest with you, I was expecting something like skins or even worse. I mean, the worst part would be like the actual pay to win, where you can go and buy weapons and actually buy yourself power and all that good stuff, right? Like Raziel and other games. That's no. I mean, that's not even a question here. That's obviously not the case. So I was thinking to myself, okay, maybe they'll do skins, you know, skins that won't affect. Like in Call of Duty Mobile, there's some skins, and you know, there's a battle pass. There's a battle pass in here as well, and we'll talk about that. But in general, I thought skins. I did not think Reforged Stones, Legendary Crest. What do I think about that? Well, everything in the game is free, right? Pretty much. What is not free? The Legendary Crest, and you had the Reforged Stones that are not free. Now, is it actually buying something? Is it buying power? When you have a Reforged Stone, just take a look at that. You have a huge pool versus having a smaller pool of stats that you can pick from. I think it's a good line. I really think that that's a really nice line between somebody who would want to pay and not. Because remember, when you have that line, you have a person who would like to pay and a person who would not like to pay. And you're in the middle trying to make sure that you keep that line nice and straight and fair between both sides. You want to make sure that the free player is able to do everything that they want to do in the game, pretty much. And then you also want to make sure that the person that actually does pay for something gets their money's worth, right? So a skin is not, for $25, does not really get your money's worth, in my opinion. But hey, you tell me what you think about that. So in this case, I feel like they do actually kind of give both sides exactly what they want. They really do walk that line down the middle when it comes to these Reforged Stones. I like it. To be honest with you, I really do think that it's free to play. And I think it's a really good free-to-play too. Not as just free-to-play. I think this is a good free-to-play. I think this is a good free-to-play for both sides. People that do want to spend some money and people that don't. But okay, you tell me what you think about the Reforge Stones. Now, as far as the legendary crests, let's talk about that. This is a pretty heated one. A lot of people feel like the legendary crest could be a little bit of an issue. So why, right? When you're playing with legendary crest, you're guaranteed yourself a legendary gem at the end of it. Generally speaking, legendary gems are pretty hard to get. Right, you get them in the alpha. We got them, I think, at 20 and at 40. I think so. At battle pass, you get them. You get one at level, I think, 30 or 25. I forgot. Or 20, I think you get one. Right, so that you get some legendary gems here or there. Now you need 6 of them. 6 of them to wear on your piece set if you're going to be, you know, somewhere in the higher end of the game, right? So you need 6 of them, and then you also want to upgrade them. And the only way to upgrade the legendary gems is to stick another legendary gem into it and kind of put them together and make a better gem. So you are going to constantly need legendary gems. You're going to need regular gems as well, and those you don't need to pay for. But the legendary gems, okay, a commodity in the game. And some people say, well, somebody's going to be able to just come in there, randomly pump out a whole bunch of, you know, a whole bunch of legendary crests into these rifts and come up with a whole bunch of gems. Do you think that's pay to win? I don't. Because I guess it could be a modifier, but really, realistically, if you think about it, anybody who is a free-to-play player can grind through and get those same gems. Maybe not at the same rate, but you also got to be kind of fair, right? The people that are paying should be getting something for their money. Now, this is, again, that fine line down the middle, I think. I really think that Diablo Immortal is walking that line right down the middle. I think, so far, I really like the system. I have pretty much no issues with it. We'll see what happens as the game comes out, and you let me know what you think about it. I would love to hear your opinion down below. Do you think this is free to play? Do you think this is pay to win? What do you think about Reforge Stones, legendary crest? Have you seen this type of system before? There is a battle pass, and of course the battle pass is something that a lot of people know about. Battle pass is a free version, and then there's a paid version. You get stuff for free, just like you would in Call of Duty Mobile, Brawl Stars, and a bunch of other games. And then you get the paid version if you want, which gets you a lot more stuff. It gets you like materials normally, you know, things like that. There really isn't any gear. There's some gems, like I said, legendary gems I see, but there isn't really any gear, right? Remember, the only way to get gear in this game is by killing monsters. And for me, that is awesome. I really do think this is free to play. I commend the Diablo Immortal team for doing something really nice. I think this is different. I think this is cool. I like it. I want to see what happens with it. Let me know what you think about this. Thanks so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.